Here's what Bowman said. He was asked about production from some of the forwards, and he said, nervous is not really how I'm looking at it. The question was about Hyman, Nuge, Skinner, and Arvidsson, who have just 11 goals in 80-man games played. Not good. He added, but more like it's weird. We've got such poor production from those players, and if you look at the numbers, under the numbers, the analytics, we're doing a lot of good things. We should be scoring a lot more goals. And my question to you, the Short for Giant question, everyone in the chat can chime in, which forward are you most concerned about out of that group?
So Skinner, Arvidsson, Nuge, and Hyman.
Correcto.
Nuge. I think Arvidsson and Skinner, like, they're not being let off, but like Skinner has 4 goals. Like, he's kind of been buried in the lineup, but I'm not like that upset. I think he's just had limited opportunities. Arvidsson seemed to have actually been like getting his legs a little bit underneath him before he got injured. Hyman's expected goals are so high that, like, I just feel like that's going to turn around and he's going to be totally fine. But like, Nuge for me is last couple of games he's been better, but he doesn't seem very dangerous. And I think he's playing next to McDavid. He should be producing way more than he should be. Like, Naeem put in the chat that I'm most worried about Arvidsson just because of the injuries. Like, yeah, that's 100% true. But like, just from like pure, like, if they're on the ice, Nuge is the one for me. It's like, okay, you play on the top power play unit. You're next to McDavid quite often. Yeah. And you're not looking dangerous. Like, Hyman has looked dangerous in moments this year.
Yeah, and the other thing too, like, Nuge just hit some posts, so like there's that. If those posts go in, do you view him different? But again, like, 2 posts going in doesn't actually change my perception of Nuge that much now that I say it. And I do agree with you in that sense. And also, if you look at the NHL edge, Nuge has gotten slower this year. Which is a little bit concerning considering where he's at in his career. I said Zach kind of sums up nicely the Bowman quotes and all of that. He also added in a really interesting part. Again, we'll put the link to Zach's article in the show today so you can go read it for yourself. But he added in, examining this year's numbers versus last year's through the team's first 22 games, Edmonton's defensive metrics have improved. Not by much, mind you, but they're allowing 0.45 fewer goals against per hour, and most notably have reduced their scoring chances against rate by 1.98 per hour, their high danger chances against by 1.8 per hour, high danger goals against by just over 1 per hour. So there's a couple of other numbers in there. So defensively, they're better.
Yeah.
And I do think that's an interesting part of this. I will say, like, when I look at, I think Nuge is Nuge now. And as much as I'm like, concerned, I'm still like, you know what you're getting in him, right? Relatively reliable in a lot of senses. Hyman, he'll snap out of it. Skinner and Arvidsson worry me for a couple things. One is Jeff Skinner square peg round hole here. Does Knobloch not like him? He has been getting a lot of looks next to McDavid and Draisaitl.
Yeah.
And this is speculative to the nth degree. Like, so is there something McDavid and Draisaitl don't like about it? Like, there's just, now that we're at the 20-game mark, it's kind of like, And with Arvidsson, why has he been day-to-day for 3 weeks almost? And the backs are bad.
Yeah. I was curious to see what he was going to be like last night at that autograph session, like how he was going to.
Was he there?
He was there. He was just sat on a bus.
Was he in one of those old school neck things? Like he has a broken spine?
Wheelchair, yeah. Full body suit.
Full body cast.
But it's still undisclosed.
Yeah, but the Skinner thing is interesting, like you said. Like Arvidsson and Podkolzin and even Nuge and Hyman. They are guys who play with McDavid and Hyman. And McDavid and Draisaitl, sorry, because it seems like they want them to be there. But like, Skinner's had his games. He's scored next to McDavid before. And he's just not stuck at all. Like, I hope it works because I like Jeff Skinner and I think he's more than capable of producing. But he needs to find a role on this team too. But I still do stand by Nuge for his offensive game. He's been relatively fine defensively. Penalty kills coming around with him, but like he needs to get going a bit because he was great in the playoffs too. 22 points, 26 games.
Had big games against Dallas. Like that series was awesome. Good. Game 7 goal against Vancouver. He was great.
That's right. Yeah. So Nuge is what I'm worried about because we've seen him perform better than he is right now.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.